Welcome everybody to the ladies of the OG Outlaws. We have Miss Beautiful, wonderful mom, lunatic mom. Then we have the wonderful, beautiful Missy, and then of course we have myself. Today we're going to talk about how mom learned how to do tarot cards with playing cards. Now I have a million decks of tarot cards.
Yeah,
And
I've never had experience to even see how that's done.
exactly. But she's only been able to do it with her tarot cards or with her
Playing cards.
playing cards.
Mhm.
So we're going to learn how she does that.
Okay.
And if you want, I can pull out a deck that has a book. And well, actually, I have a list of different meanings for the
Like,
actual tarot cards. I have a
okay.
list. So we can always go through that too if you want to learn.
Mhm.
But I am interested. So go ahead, Mom. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. Well, the Ace of Hearts, it means like it's like a new beginning of a either relationship, marriage, or something. Like it can be done in a different ways because it depends on a person. If you are not dating or you're not planning to get married, so it could be like a very nice friendship. That's what can be put out there. And Three of Hearts is like of like a lack of communication because it's like a low card. So it's like a
Yeah.
lack of communication in a relationship. So and Four of Hearts and like Five of Hearts, that's kind of between that. It's like a little bit of a change. The Four of Hearts is like a stable relationship, and then Five of Hearts is major change, and then coming like a home, work, or anything, like in a relationship with anything, like you
Yeah.
can relate to yourself. And then Six of Hearts, it means like it's a nice, like a peace and harmony, and like a very nice time actually at that, whatever is going on in your life. So Eight of Hearts and Nine of Hearts is like it's like a gathering, like a business, like it's more of a kind of related to your outside world, that you can be with someone, that it's like a bigger gathering, that it's like something nice, happy times, whatever it is. And 10, 10 of Hearts is a good news coming your way. So it could be again in a different time of life, or whatever it's happening in your life at that time. So whatever it is, kind of that it's happy, that it's the hearts basically represent like a little bit happier times.
Right.
And Jack of Hearts is like a friend, best friend, or even with a couple that could be like related. And depends. I usually try to explain to people like it depends on their hair color or eyes color, because people have darker hair, lighter hair, but they have blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes. So that's when you kind of put it. So it's like a friend, like best friend, friend, or significant other. And the same way goes with the queen. But King of Hearts represents like a more of a kind of a like a authority, like either your boss or someone, different, or some like at work or something. So it's like somebody that could be even in like your church or something, that it could be advisor or something. So again, that's a King of Hearts because they are representing that they are elderly people.
Yeah.
And Ace of Diamonds is important message coming your way, because like heart, like diamonds are actually more of a things that they like representing like fortune, kind of like giving you a good news or bad news or stuff like that. So good, two of diamonds is a good news about your finances. Three of diamonds again, regarding your money, because it's like going higher and higher. So when you get to like about the six of diamonds, seven diamonds, so which is again, you have to kind of relate to yourself or like how it the cards represent you, put it in all together. That either it could be a good thing that you can get a fortune, like a little bit money, or you can come into something good, or it also could be a downfall that you have to come up with a big amount of something to even pay out or stuff like that. Something can happen, so you can put it different ways. So the 9 and 10 of diamonds, they kind of go again to together, that either like a financial, like either giving away, paying a lot of bills, or you can also gain. And then Jack of Diamonds, it's a barrier of a bad news. And Queen of Diamonds, it's kind of like a more of a like gossip person, that not to trust that kind of person, because that it's like just to go and listen for whatever you need to tell, and then she goes and tells someone else or whatever it is. And then again, the King of Diamonds, it's again, that's more of a representative, like a business person that you would be dealing with money kind of transactions or stuff. So Ace of Clubs is like it could be a two different things, like because like when my mom would tell me that it was like it depends how it's turned upside down, it meant different than it was the other way. So when it's a regular time that it's not upside down, that means it's like you kind of are very strong in your own mind, and you're like way to what you need to do in your life. But if it is upside down, that means like especially if a when it comes down to ladies, like either like your family members or friends or whoever, that could be that could mean that you lose someone, which is like ladies, like a miscarriage, or that, like for some reason, which that kind of scared me, because when my daughter was pregnant and I kind of put the cards out, the aces clubs went upside down,
Oh,
and I knew it. And when she called me crying, I knew why she was crying, and I only told her not to worry about it, everything will be fine. And she's like, Mom, it's not gonna be fine, I lost the baby. And I just like out of nowhere, like out of consciousness, I just said, I know, I'm sorry for that. And she's like, how did you know? So it's like, like a relating to your own personal things, like you have to kind of connect with these cards, so they will tell you.
oh wow.
And two of clubs, three of clubs, four of clubs, then they all kind of up to like six, like they are like slower going up, 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 up. And then that means it can change something in your health, mental health, or like stability or something. So then 8 and 9 and 10, so again, that it's preparing you, like that you could be even like you can either meet somewhere, or you will be traveling to somewhere that like a little distance. And Jack of Clubs is an honest and trustworthy person, which is like with a male friend. And Queen of Clubs is charismatic woman who is in position of power. That means like again, you have to relate it to yourself, that either kind of be possessive, that oh, I'm always right, or actually someone with a good intentions to give you advice.
Right.
So, and King of Clubs is a person, man with integrity and like a loyal friend, like it's gonna again be there for you, so you have someone always in your life that way. Oh my goodness. And now the spades. And ace of spades means again, like it depends how it's turn upside down or not, so that it's change coming to your like a inner like a household or like family or something, that it's like you kind of have to be prepared for anything else happening, so it's like something new happening. So then two of spades, three of spades again, four to five, six, it's like things can happen, which is you have to be kind of, when those cards come up, and especially all together, that means you have to be really, really alert about it, that some changes can happen either at your job or at home, but it's not for good, but it's something that you should kind of change the fate your own self, you know?
That's the day they got it. Got it for the guy.
Right.
So, and then eight and nine and 10 spades is like,
Or
more of a grief, like a loss of something, or you will find out that someone either is sick or died or something like that when the higher cards come up. And Jack of Spades is a negative person in your life. That is definitely not to trust that kind of person, because it's only looking for betrayal.
because of the why.
And the same way with the queen, it's like manipulative and trying to just gain like knowledge of your stuff so then they can use it against you or stuff like that.
Mm.
And King of Spades is representative of authority,
And it was
like a man that it's not actually like, it could be in a relationship or at your job, like a boss or supervisor or somebody that it's not very friendly, that can cause a trouble for you. So you have to be
so.
alert about it. So that's why, like, it's like when you put all these cards together, then you can able to kind of look at things like the way the cards shape. And I usually do that when I pick a card, like for myself, because my hair is dark and I'm older, so I usually pick myself as a Queen of Hearts. And that doesn't mean like, like an individually, if you're reading to someone else, that means different. But then when you put the card, so you put the card in the middle as yourself, and then it's like put cards up like above your head, like above it, on the side of it, on the bottom, and on the other side. And then you just put like spread the cards around. And then when you lift the one first up top. And whatever cards they are, then you can read it what the needs, like
I know.
it kind of tells you then what it already kind of happened and leading out to another thing happening. And then the one on the side is again like what it is like now in the present, like whatever you're going through, either could be bad or financial, everything. Well, it depends on the cards. And then it's again leading up, so what could be, so that's the bottom, on the bottom of your card. And again, so that one is kind of more about towards the future, what can come. And then the last one on the other side is like what to expect, which is kind of prepare yourself for whatever cards it's going to come up.
Right.
So that's very simple, but it does really help. Like I said, and when I was 15 years old, I was on a
No.
camp that we were picking apples and cherries and everything else, and a girl, like the friend that was we were staying in one tent together, and she's like, what can we do, what can we do? And I was putting my cards, because we didn't have no cell phones then, so I was putting my cards out, and I was like, oh, where's my family doing? I was kind of trying to see. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm reading my cards because I want to see if everything's okay at home. And she's like, can you read my cards, can you read my cards? So yeah, like the cards that they came up, and I told her, I said, well, someone is looking over you, like it's like really always by you, and it's like this kind, it could be this and this age, between this and that, and it could be like that. And she's like, how did you know? I'm like, well, I don't know, I'm just telling you what I see in the card. That's my brother, but he's dead. How did you know? He's always with me. I always think about it. And she kind of got freaked out, and I'm like, well, then he's your guardian angel. He's always with you. He's looking out for you, you know?
Right.
And she got so scared and she told me, no, you are a witch. You cannot tell me that my brother's dead. He's not here with me. He's this. Like, so she couldn't understand that because we were 15 years old. So
Hey,
after
So,
that, I got scared and I didn't want her to read cards.
so she put you off on reading cards for
Yes.
other people.
Yes.
Well, don't let one person put you off. The fact that you like still know all the meanings, like I wrote them all down,
Oh,
means it means that it's here. Like you got a natural talent in it.
oh, thank you.
I have a question. Can you try
Yes.
to do it? You know our situation, right? So could you do a reading on me?
It's like really, really hard to in that kind of situation because when you have to be present, like you have to be like a connection, because when you have the cards, then when I shuffle them and everything else, then you have to touch them by your hand and like put them on three different, you know,
Okay.
stacks, and then
Right,
I
right. I get
so
that.
it's like a connection,
Yeah.
because like right now
So
then we cannot
maybe
connect.
when mom or you go visit mom, you could
Yeah,
she could do it for you.
I
right.
was just wondering how that worked with hers. You know. I mean, I
Right. No, because see, I understand. And I could pick up a card like, you know, to representing you and everything else. But because there is not like a physical connection,
don't.
because like, you know, anything, you have to have a strong connection. And
Okay.
yes, I understand that people do this, the tarot card, which is a little bit different because they don't
Yeah.
have to be touched by the person, you know?
They should not be touched by
Right,
anybody
by
else
anyone
besides
else.
you.
But that one, it's more of a kind of, because it's a regular cards, you know. So then the way how you separate them, like, you know, you split them yourself, which is your connection to it, and then when you write there in present and everything else, so it's like a more of a spiritual connection to it, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Right, right.
That's
So
what I asked. You know, I didn't know.
so I know that like tarot has I think it's like the same amount. No, it has a couple more cards than
Yeah, I think it's got a
yours.
little more. Yeah.
But um now you said that like when you're reading them it's like you're connected to the surroundings of it.
Right. And like the person that it's supposed to be telling the, you
Right.
know, then it should be connected with the cards too, you know.
Hmm.
So my question is, do you think you have a connection to the higher like higher planes
No, she does. Yeah.
than uh to like the spiritual world, a stronger connection than like most people?
I feel it does. Let's.
I do feel sometimes that I do have a different connection than anyone else because of things that I feel, that I sense, and it's like I can like see things that already, like in my mind it already happened, and then things happens, and that's when I kind of really am struggling with that myself, because I feel like I'm causing things happen because if something bad happens, and I feel like I caused it because I already seen that.
Right, which once again, it's not so much as you're causing it. It's more of the simple fact that um
Just having a premonition.
you're having a premonition of what's
Right.
to come. Like my sister called me up and she's like, "Hey, you need to go get your heart checked." Well, I didn't tell anybody that for a while I felt tired, weak, dizzy, lightheaded, the whole
Mhm.
shebang of that whole thing. And she's like, I don't know, just go get your heart checked. And I'm like, I'm fucking fine, Candace. And she's like, no, you're not. Go get your heart checked. I had a dream you were, um, I woke up and found out you were dead and we come find Jordan. And it was just a whole ordeal. Go get your heart checked. I went in because, I have been having heart pains. But
Right.
I'm like, I chalked it up to, oh, it's just bradycardia. I was tired, but I chalked it up to, oh, it's just bradycardia. Well, at the end of the day, yes, it was bradycardia, but it was also
Heart problems.
bradycardia can cause heart attacks and everything else. And I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
I can't fuck around with this shit no more.
No,
So I
definitely.
finally went and made a doctor's appointment, and I'm waiting to go see them because, getting into the doctors is a pain in my ass.
Yeah.
Right.
But I totally get, waking up and having premonitions, and you're like, dude, I just fucking seen this.
Right.
And they're like, no, this hasn't happened yet. This is happening now. And it's like, no, I already fucking know. And
Hmm.
it's like, well, if you know what's going to happen, and I'll explain it to them, and they're like, oh, that ain't going to happen. And all of a sudden they're like, it happened. And it's like, I don't tell you this shit to waste my breath.
Right. But that's why how I feel too. Like when I try time I tell my kids, and when one of the kids got into an accident, and it was actually right in front of the house. Like I wish he was just literally two houses down. And the night before, I actually seen it that he was involved in an accident. And before he went to work, I was like, just be careful, just be careful. He's like, I know, mom, I'm always careful. I know, I'm always careful. And his shoelace got caught on the pedal, and
Yep.
he hit a car that was parked on the side of the road. And he called me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I knew it. He's like, what did you know? And I'm like, you got into an accident. He's like, how did you know? And I'm like, don't tell me, are you okay, and everything else. So then he got freaking out, and he's like, how did you know I got into an accident? Because he didn't even say nothing yet. And I told him that, did you get into an accident?
Wow.
And that's why, like, sometimes I don't like to tell a lot of things that, what I see, what I feel. Because again, like I said, I have been feeling that if I don't talk about it, it might either prolong it, that it won't happen right away, or it won't happen at all. But sometimes it's not the case.
Now, do you like? Was there anybody else in your family that had that ability? That like your mother or grandmother?
Yeah, my mom and my great aunt.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, that's like part of gypsy thing. Is
Yeah, that's why, like, when I was younger, then that's what they like, just like we were like playing like kids and everything else. Then all my siblings and my cousins and everybody always called me, you are gypsy, you just a gypsy.
right.
And I'm like, why? Because I would tell them things like, don't do that, because this and this gonna happen. And when it did happen, they're like, yeah, you caused it because you said it, it's gonna happen. So it kind of, like I said, from since I was little, it was kind of following me, and I was like really struggling with it, and more, like I said, even till this time, like even I actually have seen my own accident when I was involved in an accident. I had two of my kids in a car, and a person hit me, and I've seen that, and I was just like going that route, and I was like, I'm almost there, I'm almost there, I'm almost there, can you please, God, please let me get through this, let me get through this. And right there it happened.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I can't, like, that's why I'm scared to talk about it all the time, like what I see, what I feel. And
Yeah.
even one of the kids' friends, like she was always coming visiting, like, when they had days off or whatever, she would stop by, and they always call me, mom, 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 how you doing, how you doing, mom, mom. And when it was COVID, but she had very bad asthma, so she got COVID, and from that, like, very bad asthma attack, and she died. And at 3 a.m. in the morning, I heard her screaming, Mom, Mom. And I woke up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did somebody got hurt? And I walked around the whole house. Nobody, nobody. But I heard her yelling, screaming clearly. And when I went to lay down, and I was like very uneasy, like it was really, really hard for me to fall asleep. And I actually woke up like within a couple hours, and I'm like, I can't sleep. Something happened. And I'm walking around and I'm like texting my kids and I'm like, hey, are you guys okay? Have you heard from this person? Have you heard from this person? And then actually on a Facebook, like I opened the Facebook and I've seen and everybody saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Oh my God. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was Morgan. And that was Morgan that was calling for me.
Yeah, and she just wanted to let you know that
Yeah, that
what
she
happened.
was, yeah. And that's why when I told the kids, I said, I heard Morgan yelling at me. And they're like, no, mom, she died last night. I'm like, I know she did, but do you guys know what time was it, like when she went to the hospital? And they said that I guess her family took her around like 1 2 o'clock, and by 3 o'clock she was dead.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Which has got to hit hard on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just sometimes I actually sometimes I do feel good about it, like when I feel things or see, like, see things in my sleep or whatever, because at least I'm aware of it. So I kind of try to change it. And then I'm like, okay, guys, you guys don't do that. Don't go there. Don't do that. Take this route. Take this, that, like trying to avoid it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think, can you change it? I don't think you can, Mom. It's destiny.
No, it will not change it because believe it or not, I actually feel like they say you cannot cheat death.
Right? It's called
You
destiny.
cannot because it's a destiny.
Yep.
And whatever happens, your life is your destiny.
Right.
How you approach it, how you feel about it, how you deal with it, and how you go daily life to daily life, that is your destiny. And you cannot change that.
Right. Right.
So,
I know. It's got to be hard to, I mean, I know things, some things, but then it's like, am I having like a deja vu moment, or is it really
really,
going to happen? So I think
yeah,
it's really hard.
Should I
yeah.
really pay attention to this one? If I should pay attention to this one. Yeah, it gets funkified.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, and even when I don't know if I told you that, guys, when I was like about 7 years old, my cousin died, drowned, and when he was in college.
Yeah, about how he came to you
Yeah, and I've seen him, and he came to me the night before, and I've seen him, and then the next day, my aunt said, "Oh my gosh, he's dead," and I'm like, "No, he was here because I didn't understand the meaning of it. Why was he there?"
right,
Right.
And she's like, "What are you talking about? He was here." I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen him. He was here last night." She's like, "No, he died." I'm like, "No, he didn't. He was here. He was joking around with me because he always like was like joking around and like scaring me, like stuff like that."
yeah,
And she's like, "Oh my God." And that's when she started crying and she's like, "Oh my God, he came to tell you bye. He came to see you the last time." And I couldn't understand that what she was saying. Till then, when they brought his body and from college and they like, you have to go see him, you have to go see him. I'm like, no, I cannot see him because if he's dead I cannot see him. And they like, yes you can, because he wanted to see you before he died and that's why you were able to see him. So now you just have to tell goodbye to him. You just touch him and just say goodbye. And
Well,
it kind of make me feel kind of relieved when I did that.
yeah.
right,
Being able to say goodbye to a loved one is very important. And I think that's why my grandma came to all of us before she passed away. I
Yeah.
was going to show you all of my cards, but apparently I'm missing cards out of both of these decks. Don't know.
Oh.
So, time for Froggy to order new cards because I don't. You can tell which one I use the most.
Oh yeah. Do you have a
but
favorite one? Like, like you have favorite, cards, like how they look and color and everything?
Uh, the Greenwich Tarot.
Okay.
now your Tim Burton deck. What is that? I mean, the Tim Burton deck you have.
Okay, I'll grab that one up. I have that one.
That was new.
Yeah, that's a brand new one. So I know that they're all there.
Right. And
Don't
Christmas,
get me wrong. It ain't like I don't have tarot cards, okay? It's just those were my favorite ones. So,
Right. Sometimes you just feel that way that, like you
yeah.
attach to it.
right?
The Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, they all come with this lovely book that explains each and
Okay,
every
so if I
card.
were to purchase tarot card, would they have me like the explanation what they mean or
Most of them, yes, and never purchase your own. Always have somebody give you.
okay. No, I
Like,
was just wondering because I've never actually even seen one of those.
This
like,
is what they look like.
you know what you could do, Mom? You
Oh,
could
okay.
have Dad go on and order
Um,
for you. Have Dad go on and order for you and have him give them to you. That way, somebody's giving them to you.
Oh, okay.
yeah, actually, I have a Amazon wish list and it's nothing but tarot cards. Once, if Roy gets this fucking job working with me, I will go ahead and order you a deck of tarot cards.
Oh
Um,
no, if it's too much money, don't do that. No, no,
no,
don't do
no,
that.
no, no, no. It's not. Trust me, Mom. This is my Hush tarot card set. Uh,
Oh,
it comes. This one my daughter actually bought me. It comes with the book. Um,
mhm.
Pretty picture.
Oh, nice.
My daughter got me this deck for my birthday, and she hates tarot cards.
Oh, that's so cute.
Um, it basically it has what it is up here. Like this is the cups, and then this
Hmm.
would be the ace of cups.
Okay.
And if you want to learn the meaning, say you pull the ace of cups, you go to your little book, you pull out. You dig through it. Which the ace of cups is a minor, and it upright as a fresh start, healing. The little bird sings
Hmm.
its song to a new day's beginning. He is perched within the remains of the past. The crown is the gift of what is to come next. And if it's upside down, kind of like yours, where you have like a reversed,
Hmm.
it's numb and vulnerable, life's ups and downs, and leaving you drained and open to attack. Two of
Okay.
Cups is unity, clarity of purpose. Upside down is discord, lack of honesty is causing an imbalance. Trust is needed to for future harmony, and
Hmm.
so on and so forth. That's my Hush Tarot deck. And I know these ones have never been fucked with. I don't know where my tattoo tarot guidebook went to, but this is another deck that my daughter bought me.
Oh, that looks
Again,
nice.
it's just different tattoos on the
Okay.
cards.
On the cards, they are the outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like this is the Five of Swords.
Hmm.
So it has the five swords going into a rose.
Okay.
So, um, that's another set my daughter bought me. That's why I don't fuck with them because I don't want to lose shit because it was my daughter that bought them for me and not anybody
Hmm.
else.
Right.
Um, then you get into the oracle, and most of the tarot cards are all the same. I mean, there might be one or two different cards in there, but they all
Hmm.
represent the same thing.
Okay.
Oracle cards are totally different. Like this one, it comes with this beautiful book. It's the Fairy Oracle.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Hummingbirds and dreams. When you pull this one, the keyword is the smallest. Even those who seem the least to use to us have their dreams. The tiniest and the weakest have their place in the universe, just as we do. They have a special job that only they can do, a place that only they can fill. There is no being that is more important or more worthy than another, regardless of the form in which they've chosen to express themselves in life. So it tells you all about the different meaning of the card. And then
Mhm.
down here it says, I am right down here. Uh,
Okay.
It says, I am a unique being. There's no other like me. My purpose is my own to fulfill. No one else can do this. Spirit expressed through me in a way that only I can give expression. My gift to the world are mine alone to give. I am in divine harmony with all my life. And
So,
then it at the very, very bottom it says, take time to notice the smallest things today.
so Tanya, like, what is the difference between Oracle and Tarot?
Well, okay, so like Oracle, it has like a total different meaning than Tarot.
Okay.
Each card has a different meaning. It's just like, um, and it all depends on which Oracle deck you pull. Like I said, it ain't like I don't have cards, okay?
No.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. We ain't done yet. We got the spell deck. We got Harry Potter. We got mermaids and dolphins. We got unicorns. We got spirit animal. We got nature.
Oh my goodness.
I ain't even done yet. We got goddesses. We got self care. We got wild child. We got, what is that one? Deviant Moon tarot cards. Uh, we got erotic. I mean, at the end of the day, each one has a different meaning. Um, the chakra one is the one that uh, basically tells you what you need to look at to heal your chakra.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of times, Dad, yes, you do. And the only reason I'm reading this question is because I seen it. Dad says, do you have to have a connection to the spiritual world to understand the cards?
Yeah.
Some people say no, but a lot of people who have a spiritual connection are more into tarot cards and the universe and chakra and all of that. And the reason that they're more into it is because of the simple fact that they feel a pull.
Now, Mom wouldn't have a problem reading those cards. She would. She has that connection, you know, with the spirit.
Right.
So now, like, say if Dad was doing it or if I would do it, we don't. I don't think I have that connection. I mean, if I could
Well,
feel it,
you would because of the simple fact that you can't see what
right?
is being sent at you. And I know a lot of people that do. Yeah, every single one of these decks is missing a card. There's
Oh
four
my
or five
goodness.
different decks in here. Um, which is whatever. But a lot of people use after they get done using, like say, uh, they're missing a card out of their deck. They use them for spells and to put happiness around the house. They pull
Right.
the cards that are the happiest and they put them around the house so that way they have a connection.
Another question. Now, like with mom's cards, does she have to cleanse them every time she uses them? Because I know, like with tarot, you have to cleanse them. You know, especially if you have like a bad reading or whatever. You want to give them a new.
No, because see, like the playing cards, they actually itself, like the tarot cards, they have a special meaning, which is individual card.
Right.
The playing cards, they just they can be used for anything. But when you do read to someone, that's why you have to be physical, to be one on one and touch those cards who I would read to, so
Okay.
you can split them and so you can have that so you can touch them at that minute to have a connection to it.
Hey, Amy, I got a bunch of cards coming your way.
Hi, Aunt Amy.
I'm gonna be having to order new tarot cards because yeah, but the only reason I ordered my own is because of the simple fact that I use Roy's money, so it's a gift from Roy to me.
Now, how do you cleanse them? So how do you go about cleansing them?
Sage.
Okay.
You don't want to leave them out at a full moon; they're gonna blow away. You don't
Right.
want to. You don't want to put them in holy water because they'll get ruined.
Right.
Sage, just smudge them in sage, just like you would anything else. Crystals help smudge them too, or yeah, cleanse them.
All right. I was just curious. I wanted to let other people know, in case someone new is getting into the whole tarot reading thing.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that's why like I
Oh shit! Where'd mom go?
Chris,
Dad, where'd mom go? Chris.
Chris is coming. Can you bring her up, or is that only?
No, you don't have me as a co-host. Which on Sundays I should be the co-host.
Right. From now on, make her
Hey,
the
that's not a hoodie. That is a jacket.
What?
mom.
Put that shirt on.
Accident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Chris, she met.
No.
Out, Jordan.
Okay, I don't know Lunatic Mom's
I have her cell phone number. I have Dad's too.
I got them both too. I don't know her email, so I could make her as a co-host.
No,
You know mine.
Dingle
She is.
Nope.
That's what I thought, but she said no. So
Share stream.
there she is. So you didn't have to do anything. Dad might have done it.
Well, welcome back, Mom.
well, thank you, because like talking and this thing just disappeared on me. I'm like, hello, you have to help me here.
It happens. But I'll let you ladies go back at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, Chris. Dad.
Yeah. That's why I was like, hello, come here, because I don't know what happened.
It's okay. We'll get you used to it, and then on the weekdays we can,
Yeah,
do our
maybe we can do that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, and that is his laptop, and I don't want to touch stuff that he's gonna be yelling at me that I did something.
Well, see, that's why we're gonna get set up on your computer.
Yeah, I would probably have to figure out how to do that.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out. Okay.
Yeah, I would have minimized the screen, or I would have done something.
But I'm saying, like, that's why I was like looking at it, and I don't know if I touched one of the cable things that, like maybe the mouse or something, and it clicked on it. I'm not sure, so I'm not touching nothing.
That's okay. I've done it before.
Yeah.
Like I've refreshed, and all of a sudden they've had to let me back into the live, and it's like, this is bullshit.
Now I know I just wanted to let people know, like maybe there's someone that's interested in it that,
Right.
like Tanya said though, somebody has to give you the cards.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. With that being said, a lot of people do agree that you have to have the cards given to you based off the simple fact that it's a gift.
Oh, okay.
They say that it works better when the cards are a gift than when you just buy them yourself. I believe, and this is where I work around that because Roy and I are not married.
Right.
Whatever comes out of Roy's bank is considered his money. So if he pays for them, they're considered a gift to me, right?
Right.
So I don't have to worry about it. I can then go and get the ones that I want.
Okay.
But
So would it work if dad, since dad and mom are married, and say
Mhm.
dad goes and buys her a tarot deck? Would
That
that
would
be?
Yeah,
work because that's husband and wife.
right.
So it wouldn't work.
That'd be no, it would work
Oh, okay.
because that'd be a gift,
Okay.
and I could help Dad get a good set. A matter of fact, I can send Mom the link for a good set. Give me a second.
Okay.
Um,
Well, that'd be cool. Mom can learn how to do that. How to do things, Mom.
Then I can open up reading tarot cards.
Yep.
No,
Um,
that's why, like I said, I do get very attached to things, and I feel bad. Like if I see stuff in the cards, I feel bad, like that I have to say sometimes, like, you know. And actually, one time, like when I just think about it, like my son asked me to read him a cards because he was going really bad in his job. Like his supervisor was really, really bad and everything else. And he's like, yeah, tell me if this thing works. If you're going to tell me if it works, then I can believe you if I'm going to see it. And if you tell me what is going on in my job, then I'll believe you that that's the truth. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll try. So then when I told him, and he's like, oh shit, I didn't tell you that. I'm like, no, you didn't. So then he's like, now I believe it.
did you say something like you're gonna lose your job or whatever, and he lost
Yeah,
your
like that he has to watch himself because somebody is really, like when I was telling you about the jack, that it's bad for, you know.
job?
So, and I told him, I said, there is someone in there that is really, really bad, and it's not in a good way for you, it's for a bad way for you. And he's
Uh,
like, how'd you know? I'm like, well, the card says right there.
okay, I'm just sending them to sending it to Dad's Facebook.
and then
Okay.
he's probably like, I'm never gonna do them cards again because they told me exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, and that's why he's like, maybe you jinxed it because then he lost his job and like, well, you asked me to talk to you about these cards and everything else. That's why I don't want to talk.
Right.
So
Right.
then when
Well,
they
and
asked me,
people really got. I will say this: people have really got to stop blaming
no,
the.
he was just joking. Like he wasn't blaming me, but he was just joking like that because he's like, yeah, I knew that for a while, but I was just like really trying to pay attention, like stay away out of his way and this and that, and still find a way.
Right. Right.
So
But it's destiny, and it's not your fault. You're connected.
definitely, yes, definitely that I connected it with this, that I kind of seen what was going on.
Now in your religious faith, right? Do you
Uh-huh.
know? Do you know like who your spirit guides are or anything? Like,
Well, in my fate, I'm not supposed to read cards.
okay,
No, not allowed.
Okay, but because you were okay, so were you raised with the gypsy way though?
No, we actually not because but that we had gypsies coming through like because they were travelers, so we had a
Yeah.
lot of gypsies. So actually I think my aunt and my mom they learned from them.
Ah, so they learned from the traveling
Yeah,
gypsies, and you picked
and
up on it.
and I picked up on it. Yeah.
But I think what it is, I think that's more along the lines of the simple fact that they had gifts.
Right.
And I think if you actually open up your chakra and all of that, your gifts would come
more natural probably.
more natural, and you wouldn't be so afraid of them.
Yeah.
And anytime somebody says you did this after them begging you to read the cards, be like, "Look,
Right.
I didn't read it. It was already planned out for
It
you."
was already there. Yeah. Which actually, like every time when I think about it, and I actually had cards read by a gypsy, actual gypsy, when I was 10 years old. Me and my cousin were in a town. We were just like before school started, we went to get some school supply, and we were so happy that we were allowed to go alone. So we went to that town and everything else. And this gypsy lady was like, let me read your cards, let me read your cards. And we looked at each other like, we just 10 years old. What are you going to tell us? And she's like, no, it's okay. You have your life already written. This is only to help you to see your future. And
Right,
we're
and
like,
make better decisions.
yeah. And then I'm like, so we both look at each other and like, okay, fine, whatever. But then we ask her, so what do you need? Because we don't have no money. We cannot give you no money. We just the kids and we need to get our supply. And that's what we have. And she's like, I don't need nothing. I would just want if you can buy a sandwich for my child. So we're like, okay, we can buy that sandwich for the baby. So she's like, okay, she's talking, talking, talking. She first read my cousin's cards and she told her exactly like, oh, this and this happens. And sure enough, my cousin is a teacher. My cousin is a principal in our village at the school
Oh,
and
wow.
everything. Yeah, everything what she said. And then when she told me, I've never even ever had in my mind ever that I would ever go anywhere else but my home when I was at. And she told me flat out, I will be traveling thousands of miles away and I will meet a person and I will have a lot of children. And I'm like, how
You
do you
lying
know?
sack of shit. I would have been
Yeah,
like, you lying sack
I
of
know.
shit.
That's why I'm like, how are you going to know I'm going to have a lot of kids? I'm freaking 10 years old. So then we start talking to her, like saying, no, 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 She's like, no, you will be traveling far, but it's not going to be that you're not going to be able to go like travel like with the car or, anything. You have to travel thousands of miles. Sure enough, I came thousands of miles away.
And you met an amazing man and you had many
And believe it or
kids.
not, and like I told you about the cards, like that I usually pick the cards, in which I kind of did observe her how she was picking the cards, like the to relate to what kind of a person. But the person wasn't next to me then, so she picked actually Jack of Hearts because my husband's hair when he had
Yeah.
they were light, they were kind of like they weren't blonde, but they were like a lighter brownish.
A dirty blonde.
Yeah, kind of. So she picked that and she was explaining to me why is she picking that because she said, "Oh, his eyes are dark, but his hair is light." And I'm like, "How you freaking know all this shit?" And sure enough, there he is.
Right. Which tarot cards were created by playing cards, and playing cards were created by tarot cards. I mean,
Hmm.
either
It's
way you
all
look at
somewhere
it.
related. Yes.
Exactly. And what it is you have a stronger connection to the spirit world. I don't know if I've told you, but I know I've told Dad. I've been on an inner healing quest to
Right.
like heal my inner self, so that way I can be more productive and whatnot.
Hmm.
And some of the dreams I've been having really make me believe that I do have a stronger connection to the spirit world because they're out there, but like um I've seen like my spirit guide in my dreams,
Okay.
and I'm like sitting there thinking about it. There was a dream that I was like in a school, I don't know, or a cafeteria type thing, and I was looking for someone, and he came into my vision, and it was just instantly I knew I was safe with him.
Right. Sometimes it makes you feel comfortable. That's how sometimes I do feel like that. Like when I do have these visions, that it makes me comfortable, but it just like lets me know. It's like showing me this is what can happen. Like.
Exactly. Well, and then like not last night, but the last time I actually remembered my dream, he wasn't in there, but the one before that, after I went through all these trials and learned that I could be strong and independent by myself
Hmm.
without somebody. He came to me, but I had to heal from what other people have done to me
Right.
to be able to learn where he was. Lady Outlaws, you guys should do a tarot card show. Yeah, great. Here, you send me a brand new deck of tarot cards. I will fucking do it. Hey, brother, we can cut a foot of hair off Froggy. No. I don't even have a foot of hair. Like, look, my hair is short, okay? But no, seriously, it took a while for me to figure out who my spirit guide, and it wasn't until I went to the Avenal house. I'm like, who's here protecting me? Because all of us had something crazy happen.
Right.
Missy got pushed in the bathroom, which was a whole ordeal. Um, Abraxas, he was getting attacked. I had like this feeling of electricity surge through my body.
Oh my
But
goodness.
after that, I was fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, who? And they're still getting attacked.
Hmm.
And I'm like, who here is protecting me? And Ben, Renal, and Archangel Michael came over the spirit box. Well, then I had to dig further into who is Ben and Renal. Well, Ben and Renal is considered almost like the Grim Reaper. He comes and takes souls and whatnot. So, it,
But you're protecting him.
but he protects me, and I always ask Archangel Michael to protect me. But I also remember that I had to remember that sometimes, in order for us to protect ourselves, we have to follow our intuition. Like if we got a
Right.
bad feeling about something,
Hmm.
we should follow it, not just ignore it, because it's the person that like is there with us that is
Definitely
protecting.
letting you know that it's something's happening. Yes, that's why sometimes I do feel like that too, and then I'm like, no, I'm not doing this, because it's like pushing you away from something
Right.
that it's letting you know that this is not a good thing to do.
Well, and
Yeah.
we all know I watch TikTok, and on one of the TikToks, they were like, "Oh, well, it's Hell's Associate," and they were showing that uh, their guardian angel came to him after, you know, after they died, so that way they could get amends for uh, letting them basically live there, sit there for hours, and it, it's sad to think about, but one of the things that came across, one of the messages I got from it is, did you ever thank me? Did you ever pay attention?
Right. Right.
So at the end of the day, you're sitting there and you're going, did I pay attention? Did I ever say, hey, thanks for stopping me from getting hit by a car or anything
Right. Or
along those lines?
something. Yes. Anything that can happen. Yeah. Definitely.
And sometimes we don't.
Hmm.
We're not like, hey, I appreciate you, my spirit guide. A lot of times we just ignore them, and that just causes a bigger effect.
Right.
Well, last night, me and Tanya and Chris, we all found out that my spirit guide is named Roger. So now I need to start paying attention to Roger. You know, I can't just be like going on about my day. You know, now I'm gonna have to really pay attention to like what I'm doing. You know.
Right. No, definitely. Like I said, sometimes you don't even think about it. Like when I was taking Kyle to work a couple of times because his car wasn't working, and then one time we were coming home and on a highway, and the truck,
Love you too, Dad.
it just almost killed us. It's just like, and something like, I felt like something pulled my hand to like twist the wheel to get into another lane that we barely made it, not to hit nobody else and to enough to go into another lane so the truck wouldn't hit us. And Kyle's like, oh my gosh, mom, oh my gosh. I'm like, I'm sorry, Kyle, I'm sorry. It's like, no, mom, you didn't do nothing wrong. You didn't do nothing wrong. I'm just glad that you were able to turn off, that we didn't get hit. And I'm
Right.
like, oh my God.
Exactly.
What was that? You were telling about your one friend or something that his car wouldn't start or whatever. Or no, it was when we were doing the thing for Will. Remember?
My mom, my stepmom, the hatchback wouldn't stay shut,
Yeah.
and she was a ways away from home, and it was shortly after my dad passed away, but her hatchback wouldn't stay shut no matter how much they fucking slammed it, cleaned everything out. I mean, they're literally trying to do everything to get this hatchback to shut. And about 15 minutes after they're trying everything, she goes back there one more time and she just lightly pushes it down and it shuts. As they're driving, where she would have been, she had to detour because there was a massive car accident that happened 15 minutes before
She
that
got
happened.
it.
Yeah, she would have been there in that car accident, and it would have possibly killed her and my little brothers.
Yeah, so something was holding her to not to be able to drive.
She says she says my dad was there that day protecting her.
So yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I coming down to Texas, about 5 years ago, the wheel well on my car, or the wheel bearing, I don't know, something in the car tire decided to go out on me. I'm 800 miles from home.
Oh my goodness.
Instead of pulling over on the side of the road like I normally would with my four ways on, I'm like, you know what? Let's pull over in the light where there's light so you can see. So I pull over into this gas station. While we're at this gas station, a lady comes barreling down where I would have been parked and hit a cement like thing.
Yeah.
He would have cremated my car.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we rushed over. We did everything that we could. Unfortunately, there was some things that we could not
explain. Sometimes it's like really like at the right moment.
There was some things that we could not do to save this lady. When the car engulfed, she was still inside.
Oh my goodness.
I have PTSD from that.
No, that is definitely scary.
And she I literally, if I want to for some reason pulled over into the light, I just had the person with me go out and check it.
Yeah.
We would have been cremated.
Both would be dead.
And our children, because we each had a child with us at that time. I had my son sleeping in the back seat. He had his daughter.
That's crazy.
It was horrific.
Yeah, definitely.
I've never had 911 hang up on me 4 times in a row until that night.
Well, ladies, I guess it's about time to stop.
It's time to wrap it up. Bob, do you have any famous last words?
Well, I just wanted to tell you guys that I really enjoy sometimes, when we have a nice topic to talk about it. And I appreciate you guys, want me to be part of it. And maybe we can figure something out on the next time for other things. And if you guys, if you would wanted to read me your tarot cards, if you're able to, I would like to hear that.
Let me get new tarot cards, and I will definitely read you tarot cards.
Thank you.
Sounds good. We need to figure out like another time where we can do more of this. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like other people are interested.
Right.
Well, I said we could do like an hour or two earlier and maybe go for 2 hours so we could have a longer discussion time.
Right.
Right.
We can do that. Just let me know whenever, and we can definitely do that.
Yes. Plus, we could do it during the week while they're at work.
Yep.
And mom, on
Yes.
top of it, you should know you're more than welcome to come up anytime. You're like your husband. You have to.
I don't take notes for anyone.
Oh
Okay?
my
I'll put
goodness.
it that way. I don't take notes for anyone, and I can prove I took notes.
Oh my god!
I even before the show, I'm like, ooh, I need.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh,
Your last words, Tama.
I love y'all, and I hope you have an amazing day. See, I took my notes.
thank you.
Try to stay positive, and remember, just because bad things are hitting you right now doesn't mean that good things aren't in your future. Sometimes we need to go through a trial to grow.
Right. Sometimes we have to go through the bad before we get to a good.
Exactly.
Guys, I want to thank everybody for coming in. Mom, I loved hearing that whole tarot thing. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And like I said, if anybody is interested, we will probably be doing this again. Love and light to everybody.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice Sunday. Enjoy it because it's a beautiful day out there.
That it is.